Welcome to this GamblingSites.org sports betting how-to video. I'm Drew Goldfarb, and today we'll be breaking down NFL teaser bets. Whether you're betting on football, baseball, basketball, hockey, or anything else, make sure to check out GamblingSites.org for all of your sports betting needs. So before we get into the strategy for making NFL teaser bets, let's break down what they are exactly. Teasers are a type of parlay bet where the lines are moved in your favor. In exchange for the sportsbook helping you by shifting the lines, the payout odds are going to be lessened. You can make teaser bets on either the point spread or on the total, also known as the over-under. For our examples in this video, we're going to be mainly focused on point spread teasers. Since this is a type of parlay wager, that means you'll be betting on multiple games as part of a single wager. If you need to brush up on parlay betting in general, you can find a link to our how-to guide on that in the description below. Let's take a look at an example of a possible teaser. Let's say there are two NFL games you're interested in betting on. The first is the Chicago Bears visiting the Los Angeles Rams, with the Rams favored by 8.5 points. The second is the Minnesota Vikings visiting the Raiders, with the Raiders favored by 3.5 points. For this example, you like the Rams at home and the Vikings on the road. You could place a bet on each game on the spread, risking $110 on each individual contest, trying to win $100 each time. You could combine them in a parlay, where you get plus 265 odds. Or you could put them together in a teaser, where the odds would be minus 110. This would be what is considered an industry standard two-team 6-point teaser. What that means is, in exchange for lowering the payout odds on your parlay from plus 265 down to minus 110, you'll get 6 points added in your favor on each of the point spreads. So now instead of it being the Rams minus 8.5, it's Rams minus 2.5. For the Vikings, they'd move up to plus 9.5. The same rules apply for the point spreads, but now the spreads will have been moved in your favor. For two-team teasers like the one we just discussed, you'll typically find three different levels of odds available. Minus 110 odds on a 6-point teaser, minus 120 odds on a 6.5-point teaser, and minus 130 odds on a 7-point teaser. The more points the spread moves in your favor, the lower your potential payout. Some bookmakers will even offer 7.5-point teasers at minus 140 odds. Unlike with standard parlays, adding additional teams to teasers may not always just mean larger payouts. Instead, you may end up being given more points for each team added. For example, one site offers a 3-team 10-point teaser at minus 110 and 4-team 13-point teasers at minus 120. Let's get into some basic strategy. The most common margins of victory in NFL games are 3 points and 7 points. Because of that, basic strategy is essentially based on the following premise. The most profitable teasers are those that fully cross 3 and 7 at the best odds possible. But what does that mean? Fully crossing means going from a loss to a win. Spreads of 7 and 3 are considered to be pushes, whether they come on the plus side or on the minus side. Teasing minus 7 to minus 1 or plus 3 to plus 9 wouldn't be part of basic strategy because both of these examples would be teased from a push to a win on one of the two required numbers, and not from a loss to a win. There are two subsets to basic strategy. The first is to tease all underdogs that fall in the range of plus 1.5 to plus 2.5 by 6 points, fully crossing both a 3-point margin and a 7-point margin up to a range of plus 7.5 to plus 8.5. The second subset is to tease all favorites that fall in the range of minus 7.5 to minus 8.5 by 6 points, fully crossing both a 7-point margin and a 3-point margin down to a range of minus 1.5 to minus 2.5. No other subset would meet the criteria that we're looking for. The final challenge to getting the best odds relates to weeks when there are more than two teams with point spreads that meet basic strategy subsets. Here, we need to know how many teams give the best odds possible. And to do that, we have to get into teaser math. Essentially, we have to figure out how to break down the odds given to us on our teaser into the odds given to each team involved in the teaser itself. Without filling your screen with math problems and numbers just going everywhere, just know that a standard two-team 6-point teaser at minus 110 odds is a parlay where each team is priced at minus 262 odds, and a 3-team 6-point teaser at plus 180 odds is a parlay where each team is priced at minus 244 odds. So how do you use those numbers? Well, it means that you're getting better odds by playing a 3-team 6-point teaser when at least 3 teams meet the requirements we set out in the last segment. Earlier in this video, we mentioned that teasers can be placed on point spreads or on the over-under. We don't recommend using teasers for the over-under, however, because statistically, teasing the totals doesn't increase your chances of getting a payout enough to warrant the lesser payout odds. If you're looking for even more information on NFL teasers, make sure to check out gamblingsites.org, where we show you all of the calculations behind our strategy to betting on teasers, as well as additional information and tips to making sure you get the most out of your betting buck. That'll do it for our NFL Teasers guide. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and keep checking out the Odds On Favorites YouTube channel and gamblingsites.org for more picks, tips, and of course how-to guides like this one. I'm Drew Goldfarb. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.